Soulmate with Brian. I have another question for you. How do you stay connected to God? Because a lot of our viewers, I'm sure that a lot of them they are Christian, but many Christians these days just feel so far from God. You know, they met God before or they know about God, but how do you stay connected with God? How do you stay, in a relationship with Jesus? For you, how is it?
It's for me, like when I was in Korea ministering, for 11 years, I was in the worship like every week for so many days. And when I'm actually in the venue of where I do ministry, like I always pray and worship. So it's easy. It had been easier. But when I went back to New Zealand, there was nothing, no ministry, nothing, right? So I really had to try to be connected with God. It was really hard. It was harder actually. And because of COVID, there were many stages that I could be on, and there were like my ministry was like all cut
Shut
off
down,
and all. Yeah. So I had to get another like a regular job in New Zealand,
really?
which I am still doing. And that's when I could actually relate to people who are working like out there in secular. Companies and stuff, and that's when I could feel exactly how they feel and how they're striving to stay and to be a Christian in this tough world.
Yeah.
So the relationship between the co-workers and the bosses, and it's been really hard. So I really tried to be different, to be bright when they're like making jokes of other people and like doing like dirty jokes and all that. I tried not to get involved, but instead I would change the topic and try to brighten up. And I always try to pray long before lunch so that they could know that I was a Jesus follower. Wow. And they started questioning me, oh, do you go to church? And I said, I never said a word about Jesus or anything. But then they knew that I was a churchgoer and a Jesus follower, the way I was acting.
Yeah.
So I was really glad that they kind of got to know about Jesus. And oh yes, so I answered, yes, I go to church and I've been doing ministry through my electric violin playing and blah, blah, blah. And I show them clips and all that. And they started respecting me. And they really liked the way I was praying and I was talking and I was acting. I don't know if any of them is a Christian yet, but I try hardest. And as I drive to my work, I always listen to audio Bible, and before bed, I always story tell like Bible stories to my daughter, and I always pray with her and my family. I get heavily involved in my church, and I think those are the things that you can do to be, stay connected to Jesus.
Awesome, yeah. Thank you for sharing those tips, because people, they need some kind of guidance and tips,
Right,
like you said,
just small stuff,
listening to the Bible audiobook.
Yeah, audiobook.
That's small, but that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Of
that
course.
one little choice, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even me, I listen to audiobooks, not just regular books, but the Bible as well, and sermons, and
Sermons, right? Yeah.
and worship music, Christian music, and it feeds us, it helps us, I'm driving and I start crying.
Yeah, of course.
The Holy Spirit is in the car,
Yeah.
And if I lift my hands up, it's dangerous. Yeah, right. But and then what you were just saying, you are actually a missionary in the workplace, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyone
not just as a violinist on stage, but in your work,
right.
to normal co-workers who don't know Christ, you're changing the atmosphere.
Of course.
As a Christian person, being
Jesus
positive
follower,
and then praying and that's some really good things that we can all gain from that.
Right. Yeah.
So I heard another rumor about you that you are a mommy or mummy to other Christian artists
Oh yeah.
in Korea. I'm like a daddy,
Daddy,
or a father
right?
to other Christian artists, but you are as well, you know. And you know, I want you to share a little bit more about that, please.
Well, I always had this heart towards next generation and teenagers because I've been through a tough teenage time. I was a churchgoer, but I wasn't a real Christian in my teenage time, and I wish I did. If I did, then I've been, you know, a stronger Christian since I was young, and I missed that youth time, you know, that special time that I could have followed Jesus and lived a bit better as a Christian. So I always have this heart towards next generations and teenagers, and so the next step or the next process I have to do is to actually nurture and train and raise CCM artists who are younger than us, who can, you know, become CCM or Christian artists or musicians. And just like you said before, there are many people who want to do Christian music anymore, Christian art anymore, right? They only want to do secular and become popular and famous and, you know, idol-like looking and stuff. But they need these artists and musicians, Christian artists and musicians. So what I did was to, just like how you were doing, raise those trainees. So I trained them vocally and, you know, doing all that, like performing and dancing. So I established an organization called DSM Entertainment. 저희가 좀 힘쓰도록 어떤 무브먼트가 됐으면 좋겠고요. 이런 원동력을 통해서 더 많은 성도님들이 하나님 찬양하는 일들이 끊이지 않았으면 좋겠습니다.
CTS 뉴스 박세현입니다.
Those my 후배들, like they call me mommy because I cared for them just like babies. So they still call me mommy, and they're now like all older and grown up, and they've become you know, stunning musicians and artists. So I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think they need the most? You know, so as you cared for them, what was the one thing that kind of they needed the most? You know.
Well, they did need the skills and talent, but the one thing they need is spirituality, like being connected to God, intimacy with God, and knowing about Jesus. And they have to train themselves to become real Jesus followers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, they're just, you know, not different to any secular idols or musicians out there, you say, but they need that spirituality, and they need their own testimonies, how God worked through them and how they encountered God. I think that's the most important factor.
Right. I think what sets you apart, or even myself, or just anyone that God's using, is actually, you know, our love for Christ, you know, our love for Jesus. Besides the music, you know, besides the career,
Of course.
we want Jesus, and we want Jesus to shine through us, you know.
Right.
And for us to share that to the next generation, that means we succeeded, you know.
Right.
You know, if there's at least one person that we share that spirit, you know, love God and use their talents for glory of God.
Of course.
And when you started or helped start DSM, you know, that was very encouraging for me to hear, because that's my same vision, you know,
Right.
with Soul Bros,
Soul
you know,
Bros, right,
yeah,
yes.
and we had a lot of conversations, you know.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
I was kind of sad that you left for New Zealand, you know.
Right,
Because we need you
yes.
here, you know. But we know that
He
God's
means
called
it.
you. Huh?
You mean it.
Yeah.
That you're sad.
Yeah, because you know, and I always debated too. Should I be in America? Should I be in Korea?
Right.
And even now, you know, a lot of people in America, they want me to come back.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they want me to be a shepherd for them in America.
Right,
But
in America.
like you said, you know, for me now, I'm here to help raise up the next generation.
Right.
You know, and
Of course.
thank you for sharing that.
You're doing
Wow.
a great job. So
Huh?
you're doing a great job.
me,
So
me?
I'll do mine in New Zealand.
But you know, I think, you know, now that you're in New Zealand, you know, and you're coming back and forth, but there's a need over there too, right?
Of
for,
course.
For
The
the next generation
Of
to be
course.
raised up over there in New Zealand, right?
Yeah, of course.
How is it over there? You know, it's harder, right?
It is harder, yes. The population is just so small, and Korean community is so much smaller than
yeah.
in the States and Australia and all that. But there are some people, and there are many people who want to become K-pop stars still there. But there are many Christians as well at church. So I would want to make another like DSM entertainment in New Zealand,
Yeah, why
New
not?
Zealand
Why
base,
not?
and yeah, like do the audition and raise them as good Christians as well as good musicians, so that they could reach out to the next generation.
Yeah, because, you know, this Park show here, you know, Soulmate is for a global audience, right? And for diaspora as well.
Yeah, diaspora as well.
In New Zealand, in America, like us, me and you know,
Yeah,
you know,
of
as
course.
diaspora Korean Christians, you know, we need more people like us, you know,
Yeah, we do.
who are not only in Korea but outside of Korea.
Of course.
Yeah, we need more.
Because they can speak English, they could go to so many different countries to
Yeah,
reach
for
out.
missions. Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah. You should come to New Zealand.
Me? I'll be there. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll be there soon.
promise.
Wow, we already shared a lot of great topics today. I guess my last question for
Yep,
you today
of course.
is so what is next for Hanali? Yeah, what is the next step, or what is your next vision and goal? You know, what is the next dream of yours, or the I guess the journey that you're going to go on?
Well, when I was asked this question in different, radio programs and TV programs, I always said, no matter how old I get, I'll do ministry.
Oh.
I know I won't be able to play the electric violin on the hoverboard until like I'm like 80 or 90, but I don't know how God will use me, but I will do my ministry, keep doing my ministry in whatever way God allows me.
Yeah.
And my next goal, apart from flying, is to release a popra album. Yeah, I've got this heart towards this classical music still, but collaborate with pop and popra music. Could actually reach out to other people, other like older generations and stuff. So, yes, I would want to become a popra musician, singer.
Awesome. Wow, your vision is such a wide spectrum, and I think that's great. God gives us these. God gives us these gifts and passions, and it's good to pursue that. And I'm glad and thankful that you are still on that journey until 80, 90,
Yeah.
Forever.
I can sing popra when I'm 80 or 90, right?
Yeah.
If I can't do hoverboard.
Yeah, for sure, God's going to use you.
Maybe you can do popra music as well and
I don't know about popra, but
sing a duet piece with me.
yeah. But it was great to be able to connect together today.
Yes.
And I want all our viewers to follow you. Do you have a YouTube or
I do.
Instagram? Can you
Yes.
share a little bit?
Hanaliva, one word. You can find me on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, and I'll follow you back.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Please do pray for me, pray for my health, and pray for my ministry, and pray for the New Zealand people who are losing faith, and pray for Brian as well. Yeah, it'd be really good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Welcome to another episode of Soulmate with Brian. It's great to be with you guys, and thank you for coming with us on this journey. We ask that you would continue to subscribe, click the bell button, and we ask that you would leave comments as well. Thank you for your support, and God bless you.